So you get done. So you get done because you were junior. When you get to you went right to Team 3, right?
Right. Yep.
So you get to Team 3, but you don't get to go on deployment with Team 3. They hook you up with being a boat unit commander.
Yeah.
So no one's going to know what that is.
All right.
Talk about that.
So the deal was this has changed throughout the years, but like when I checked into Team 3, there was this brief period of time, whoever was in charge at the time decided that thirdos in a platoon was a bad idea for officer development. So this is no more thirdos. So basically I was faced with being a talk jockey or going over to the boat team and at least being in charge of something to get some leadership experience. So I went over to the special boat teams, which is part of Naval Special Warfare, and ultimately when they deploy as part of the task unit or the task group, and it's all integrated and part of visit board, search and seizure, maritime operations such as leadership interdiction, maritime interdiction operations. And so the boat unit, which is special boat teams, is run essentially at the leadership level by SEALs. So the commanding officer of the boat unit, the executive officers are SEALs, the boat dead OICs, the Mark 5s, although we don't have Mark 5s anymore, are SEAL officers. So look, as a brand new officer, at least had an opportunity to deploy in a combat zone, to lead men, and to work with my SEAL brothers who were conducting operations in the Northern Arabian Gulf.
Yeah, and just an overview. I'm just going to sum this up as quickly as I can. So obviously, SEALs work on water a lot. And we drive our own little boats, our own little 12-foot Zodiac boats with 55 horsepower motors on them or 35 horsepower motors on them or whatever. But the bigger boats, we don't drive those. So anything you see, any of those bigger boats are driven by these guys that are they're now called SWCC, Special Warfare Combatant Crewmen, which are guys that's what they do. They're boat drivers,
right.
And they insert and extract us, drop their boats out of various aircraft. It's a legit job, and that's what they do. And so you were in charge of a group of those guys, took boats on deployment to the Arabian Gulf and did what you did over there.
Right.
The reality is it's not the dream for the young SEAL officer to do that. But it's a good, like you said, it's good. All of a sudden you're in charge of something real.
Right.
You're when you're out on the water. And I tell people, I used to tell people this when I was in the teams. I say, listen, when you're on the water, it's a real world op. Because if something goes wrong when you're in the water, I mean, first of all, you can drown. And you can get lost. There's all kinds of bad things that can happen. So if you don't plan right on the water, it doesn't matter if there's enemy or not. You got a big giant enemy. It's called the ocean, and it will kill you if you're not squared away. And I think actually that's one of the things that makes SEALs good is that we work in the water, and the water's one of the toughest enemies you can come up against.
So unforgiving.
It's unforgiving.
Yeah.